So good. All right, Fabian, who the fuck are you? It's nice to see you, by the way. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you, Trevor. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
So yeah, my name is Fabian. I'm German. I am 39 years old, father of two little girls, married to a beautiful wife. We live in Norway. I work for a large energy company. I'm the former head coach of the Norwegian national baseball team. I a former triathlete. I played baseball on a very rather high level, both in Germany and in the US. And now I'm getting old, and but sports has always been a big part of my life. I guess that's it in a nutshell.
Oh, and you used to be a personal trainer in your younger days.
I used to be a personal trainer. I recently developed an interest in magic, so I do that. Um, I'm a
Nice.
jack of many trades. Let's put
You
it that
are.
way.
You cultivate interesting skill sets, and I like it. I appreciate that. I didn't know the magic thing, so you're gonna have to honestly show me some of that at some point here. It's kind of like the dad joke thing. So, yeah, you got a lot going on. You're a busy guy.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
You do a lot of shit. What he didn't mention is he travels for work and they go on vacations, and his sort of lead up right now is they're going to Thailand for a month, and he doesn't want to look like shit while he's running around the beach because he's amazing. So that's kind of one of the things going on. They're moving between Norway and I almost said Denmark, for Christ's sakes, but Germany. They're all over the place. In a very organized, controlled fashion.
Because we're German, so things have to be organized and controlled and structured. That's how we roll.
It's a stereotype, dude, but you guys, it's kind of awesome. I love it. It makes my job easier for sure. So, well, let's talk results. What have you gotten? You've been with us for 5 months. What have you gotten in 5 months?
So I gained some weight, but the good kind of weight, not the chocolate beer kind of weight. I think I'm somewhere between 3 to 4 kilos. I guess I could have gained more, but as you mentioned, we're going to take a mini sabbatical in a couple weeks. So part of that is going to be a trip to Thailand, and I'm a dad, but I don't want to have the stereotypical dad bod. I still want to look fit and feel fit, so I'm not adding the extra calories to gain more muscles, but just look lean and good in my swimming trunks.
My little swimming trunks.
And no, I guess overall I've gotten a lot stronger. I used to work out a lot. I was a gym rat. I was working there, and then we had kids, and things change, as you know. And you're sleep deprived. You don't have the same amount of time to hang out in the gym. And then I realized, I got to do something. And it's not like I was in bad shape or I felt weak or anything. When I look at my buddies, I would argue I'm in better shape than most of them, and I was 5 months ago. But from where I used to be and how I felt about myself, I just felt like I needed to do something to feel better and get stronger, and that's what I'm doing.
Nice. How does that feel for you, getting to this point, kind of busting through several years of plateaus within 5 months, strength-wise?
Feels great. I'm not gonna lie, putting on a t-shirt and you see some guns and the fabric stretches. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good feeling, and when you have to buy new pants because your legs are getting bigger and you got a good butt as a guy, it's not the worst thing in the world, and
it's okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I've never lacked confidence. Well, I did, but that was in my teens, and I think everybody goes through that phase.
Absolutely.
ever since I've started training, being successful at sports, I never had an issue with self-confidence. Um, but now feeling fitter, healthier, putting on those extra kilos of muscles has definitely given me a little bit of an extra boost. And yeah, it's not entirely terrible.
Not entirely terrible. Well, and remember, this is this is German here, so not entirely terrible is probably the highest praise I will ever get in that understated society that they live in. Oh, oh, wow, my heart's aflutter. Um, but let's talk about the or real quick. So let's talk about the capacity thing because you used to be a trainer. You know a lot of stuff, and you've done a lot of stuff. I mean, you didn't suck. You're pretty good at what you did, and then you came to a personal trainer, another personal trainer to get your stuff. Why?
Um, a couple of things. I mean, as a trainer myself, I could write my own plans. I could do these things, but I realized that when I did that, I just didn't follow through. And I started making excuses and like, today I'm not feeling like doing deadlifts. I'm just gonna do something else. Or, mm, shoulder press. I don't know. Let me just do a couple more biceps curls for, whatever reason. Random example. Um, so I wasn't accountable to anyone, or I was
Mhm.
accountable to myself. And then when you're accountable to yourself and for your family and work, you don't want to add on another uh, another area where you have to have that accountability towards yourself.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing. In terms of structure, I I'm privileged to have my own home gym. It's small, but I get everything I need, and I'm sure we're going to talk more about this in a bit. So I was always exercising, but I wasn't training. So when I say I'm
Hmm.
exercising, I was I was fit. I was in decent shape, but there was no bigger plan. There was no structure that would build week by week by week to actually get somewhere. Um, and I definitely needed that. And also, as you said, there's a lot going on in my life and in our lives, and
Yes.
I'm constantly thinking, and for me, that was also a way to just you know turn off my head. Don't think. I get a plan. That's what you're doing. Those are your weights. Those are the number of sets. Just do it.
Execute. Yep.
Um, and it's great because I listen to podcasts or music, and I have my program, and I can just reset my mind for an hour, and then I come back and I'm physically exhausted and I'm mentally refreshed, and it's awesome.
It's excellent, and you're popping out of your work shirt, so you need new ones. I mean, that's net positive in sort of stacking the stuff. Oh, dude, nice. Um, so how are you really able to do this? Because there's a lot of guys out there, and they're feeling overwhelmed. They've got the same thing. They've got careers, they've got family, they've got kids. Like you see, even my little sparkly thing here. This is my flower watch I was given by my daughter this morning. Uh,
Yeah.
damn well, no, I'm going to wear that thing all day. Um, so they've got all those things going on, and the thought of adding in fitness is what they want. They want to be fit. They want to be strong. They want to be healthy. They want all these things that you have and are working to build on. But the start point seems so confusing, so overwhelming. So you, with all your stuff going on, if someone looked at your schedule book, they would just have a goddamn heart attack, probably. How how are you able to do this?
Hmm. Good question. I mean, I'm the kind of guy who says if I want to do something, I'm going to do it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are things in life where less than 100% is also good. For example, brushing your teeth. a little bit of brushing your teeth is better than not brushing your teeth at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a little bit of walking outside instead of taking a car is better than not walking at all. And when it comes to training, every single minute, hour, 10 minutes, whatever you want to say, in my opinion, matters, right?
Yep.
So I know that I can work out 3 times a week for an hour. And if you think about it, it's not too much to ask for, because a day has 24 hours. I try to get 8 hours of sleep. That leaves 16 hours. There's 8 hours of work, a little bit of commute, dropping kids in daycare, preparing food. Um, and then, there's still time left. And I'm just, as I said, privileged to just walk down the stairs, and I have my gym. So I'm not wasting any time on getting to the gym, getting dressed. So that obviously works in my favor. But I think with a structured plan, and also the willingness to get stuff done, you can achieve a lot. And 3 times a week, an hour is really not so much.
No.
If you look at it in the big picture. And yeah, not gonna lie, there are days in the evening when I'm tired, and I'm like, I'd rather sit on the couch and learn new magic tricks. And I'm like, no, I got this 1 hour. I can bust out my leg day today. Well,
There it
it's
is.
it's, it's gonna work. And it's it's about a structure in life that helps me to achieve my goals, both as a dad, as an employee, um, uh, but also in sports, and being efficient. I'm trying not to waste too much time, not you know fiddling around with my phone too much.
Mhm.
Just I'm not so big on watching TV shows or Netflix and whatnot. Yeah, sometimes it's nice, but it's not something I do every day or every week. And weeks go by where I don't watch anything because
Yeah.
I just don't care, and I don't feel that adds to my life. Whereas I know that if I work out for an hour, I get more out of it for myself than watching an hour of Netflix. And then you
Yep.
start prioritizing, and you got to prioritize hard.
Well said. I mean, that really what it is, what it's about. It's saying, hey, I want to live one way, so I'm going to live that way.
No.
I'm going to take the steps and I'm going to do the things and I'm going to take those small steps to big steps to live that way. And yeah, instead of saying, oh, I'm tired, I'm beat up, and I feel like shit, so I'm going to sit on the couch and do nothing, or just like even working a skill, it's not a bad thing necessarily. You can do the other, 4 days of the week. You set that time aside for yourself to take care of yourself so you can continue to do that and continue to take care of your family at a very sort of easy high level for a
Yeah,
very
and
long
and
time.
and don't get me wrong, I don't always succeed. There are days when I'm also like, not tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I have that. But
Yeah.
then if your goal is to train 3 times a week for an hour, you can afford to have those evenings. And sometimes I just, need the little nudge, and it's like, okay, you know, if I don't do it today, I won't be able to do it tomorrow because the day is packed. So I gotta get it in today. Or there's an opening tomorrow because somebody just canceled a meeting. I'm like, you know what? Then I will take it easy tonight, and I'm just gonna do it tomorrow when I was supposed to have that meeting. And then you have a little bit of flexibility. So you also got to see those windows of opportunity, and also cut yourself some slack. And
Yeah.
sometimes it is nice to just get the kids to bed and chill.
Because this shit's got to work for your life. Otherwise, what's the point? You got a lot of coaches and uh, a lot of people in the industry screaming about discipline and this and that and no compromises, blah blah blah. Well, that's cool when you're in your 20s, in the early 20s, and you don't have kids, and you don't really have a career, and you don't have a significant other who you're spending a whole bunch of time with. That's fine and easy because you don't have anything. your 24 hours of the day at 20 is very different than your 24 hours a day in your late 30s.
Yes.
Totally fucking different world, son.
I
So
don't even, I sometimes talk with my wife and sometimes we're questioning ourselves, like, what did we do with all our time before we had kids?
yes,
I don't even remember. I mean, yes, I did spend a lot of time in the gym. Um, and, but still, it's like so much time wasted back then.
so
Like,
much. So much, and now you're like, now you're scrambling for more time. But that's why the programs are built for you this way. You know, you can do 3 times a week. I've got a couple other guys that are on 1 or 2 times a week. Well, I've got a lot of guys on 2 times a week, but I've got a couple on 1 times a week, and then I have a handful that are on like 5 to 7. It just really depends on their point in life and what they can accomplish.
yeah, and that's what I said. You know, sometimes, you know, one day is what you can give, and one day is better than none.
Exactly.
It's like brushing your teeth for 30 seconds
Yeah.
and not for 2. But, you know, 30 is better than not at all. So,
30's
yeah.
better than enough because you're going to accomplish the goal, right? It's
Exactly.
inevitable. If you're brushing your teeth all every day, even for a small amount, you're going to accomplish the goal of not getting cavities. If you're training 1 hour a week with a plan, with direction, with purpose, you have no choice but to succeed. The goalpost gets moved down the line, of course. The more you do, generally, the faster things happen. But if you're not making what you're doing fit within your schedule in life, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
And then the age thing obviously plays a role as well. I
you know,
at the age of 39, I cannot train like I used to back in the 20s. You know, my body really needs more time to recover, and that was, I should have mentioned that earlier. That was one of the reasons why I also needed help, because, you know, I love the feeling of just being completely exhausted,
yeah.
and and you know, it doesn't work in your late 30s the way it used to in your mid 20s. It's just, it's a different
Well,
ball game.
it stalled you out, right? You
Yeah,
just stalled you out. You weren't moving anywhere with your stuff.
yeah,
You're feeling a little beat up. You weren't no big things, but you had a little a couple beat up points and things like the hip mobility, a little shoulder stuff, a lat stuff from baseball that was additive over the years.
yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense. It's the same thing. Like I can't hit shit the same way now than I did in my 20s, but I can confidently say, and I think this is going to continue through probably until the degradation of like the 70s. I am stronger now than I was in my 20s. I am more resilient. I have better energy, better mobility, better everything. I had more muscle in my 20s, and my limit strength was higher. But my overall strength right now, definitely better. Everything about it's better because changing training as you age matters. Then you can continue to be strong, lean, healthy.
Yeah. And here's an
Ad
important,
nauseum.
and here's an important point for me as well. You know, I want to be in the physical condition that whatever life throws at me, I'm not going to suck. You know, I want to be able to compete. Whatever I do, I want to give either my opponent, if somebody challenged me to do a game of squash, you know, I'm not going to totally suck. If
Yep.
somebody challenges me to a 10K race, I'm not going to totally suck. I'm going to give everyone a good run for their money.
Yep.
But it's not just competition with other people, but also, you know, if you get knocked down by injuries, if you get knocked down by severe illnesses, diseases, you know, if I were to break a leg tomorrow, and I really hope I won't, so, you
Mm-hmm.
know, let's um yes, thanks. You know, I want to come back quickly after a major surgery. If if I, and please, obviously nobody wants to, but if I got cancer or something, you know, I want to have a strong body to fight these things,
Mm-hmm.
to give cancer a good run for its money, and just, you know, be in a condition where I can, you know, come back stronger quickly.
Yep. That's dude, nail on the head. That's my philosophy. That's the big reason I keep doing these things. I don't want to suck. I want to be able to do shit. You know, I want to be able to run around with my kids and do everything. I want to be able to go out of that chunk of property I have and cut down a bunch of trees and then run around with my kids and then haul the trees and then do the same thing again and again and again without getting fucked up.
No.
You know, it's the way to be. And it's the same thing, that cancer thing, that disease thing. As we're getting older, that's scary shit, right? But the big preventer of a lot of these things is some mid-grade cardio and strength training. And the studies on like preventable diseases. So, you know, we got heart disease, we got diabetes, we've got, there's a whole bunch of other horrible ones out there. And just cancers, like strength training just cuts that rate by 50% in the upper cases, 30 to 50. It's a lot. And it makes dealing with them easier.
Yeah.
It makes dealing with them easier. That's just never easy, but it makes dealing with them easier. Yeah. Oh, that's a good transition point. Biggest challenge to success. What do you think that is? Your biggest challenge that you sort of, either the biggest one that you've dealt with individually or just in aggregate? What's the sort of constant challenge you're facing?
Good one. It's I think it's the motivation.
Okay, good one.
You know, as I said before, you know, sometimes you'd rather sit on the couch, but you want to push yourself and you want to do it. And then I just think about, you know, where do I want to go and where is this journey going, and just trying to find different ways to put in the work.
Yep.
To motivate myself. Because everything else is just a lot of excuses. When people say I don't have time, you know, that's not an excuse for me. People say I don't have a gym membership. That's not an excuse, because you can do a lot of great body weight exercises. So for me, the key success factor is motivation and pushing myself.
That's a really, really, really good one, because it's also the thing that a lot of guys will sort of be like, what the hell? Like, I've got that was nonverbal communication between him and his wife, by the way, which I love. Every guy watching it is like, yeah, I know what that is. I know exactly what that is. I had to point it out because it's funny.
No, and she doesn't realize I'm on a podcast and this is being videotaped, and she wants to use the soda stream, which makes a massive amount of noise. So, yeah, that's not going to work now.
Exactly. You got to hold off on the soda. Delayed gratification, please. Yeah. I had a vacuum going one day on one of these things. I was like, it's fine. Hopefully the mic gain doesn't.
You're going to cut those things out anyways, but still.
No, I know. I leave it all. This stays. Let's talk about the motivation thing, because I love it. I love that you brought that up, because we're fitness guys. We've always been fitness guys. We've always trained, and lots of people think, oh, if you've always kind of been training or working out, then it's easy. Fuck no. Mm-hmm. No, it's not. But we have created, and we continue to create, and we work together, and we work with other men who are interested in the same thing to cultivate the skill set. And it is a skill to say, I don't want to, but show up anyway. And it's not just about motivation, and it's not about willpower. And Jesus Christ, it's really not about discipline either. Discipline is doing your work well in the gym and kind of making it a priority. That's discipline. But showing up isn't necessarily discipline. Showing up is knowing why and having that framework. Why the fuck am I doing this when I'm tired? Why am I doing this? We're humans. We're lazy as shit. We don't want to do things. Our bodies don't want to do things. We're hardwired to want to sit down and conserve energy. So how do we not do that? Well, for me, and same reasons for you, is I don't want to suck. I want to show up for my kids. I want to show up for myself. I want to show up for my partner, my spouse, and I want to be healthy to do that. And I want to have capability, and I do not, absolutely fucking do not want to be a liability to everybody around me, because I can't handle myself.
Yeah,
because I can't take care of myself. and just being able to remind yourself of those days. And then that's why on day 2 you'll make the workout work, because day 1 yeah, today sucks and I'm just going to sit down and do fuck all. But day 2 you know that it doesn't matter. You're going to tie to your wire and you're going to go ahead and do it. So, which is awesome. She didn't get the soda, did she? Or did she? Either way, I'd be impressed. So, yeah, anything about your journey? Anything you want to talk about this with? The process we're undergoing. We're constantly refining movement. We're constantly refining things. We're constantly doing check-ins and seeing where you're getting better. Actually, that's what we're going to do after this call is go through those 2 videos you sent me about your form and just do some tweaks on them.
Yep. The thing is, I have a foundation because of my past, but that's like 10, 15 years ago. But working with you really helped me to, get back to that and improve things again, because it's like, it is like riding a bike. You've done a squat before, you your body kind of knows what it's doing.
Hey,
You've
train
done
before.
bench press and pull-ups and whatnot before. But now also doing the refinements and really focusing on aspects that you might have not focused on in your mid 20s,
Mm.
because your body is way more forgiving than it is now. Now I got to be not extra careful, but precise in what I'm doing. And so when I was a coach, especially for the baseball team, I I I don't like the saying that practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Because if you just train, if you go through the motions, it's not going to tilt the needle in any way. But if every rep you're doing, whether it's in the gym, whether it's hitting a baseball, kicking a football, anything you do, if you want to make sure that every rep you do is the best and most precise version of that particular movement, you're going to do well and you're not going to injure yourself.
Yep.
Um,
And at that time, if I can put that caveat in your personal statement, at that time, the most precise at that moment.
exactly.
Not ever,
Yeah.
but at that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. So that's fun. Also, like working on little details and figuring out how to activate certain muscle groups a little bit more, and we talked about this, and just trying to get more out of it, being also more efficient in how you work your body.
Yep. And there's your energy conservation, right? There's your energy conservation. And then you're spending more time doing things well and less time correcting for the mistakes.
Yep.
And no time really having to do a whole bunch of rehab to correct for like constant mistakes over time. Which is pretty nice, But I'm sneaky about my rehabby shit. I build it into the programs. So that's why when we're getting older, we don't have to do quite so much of that, because some of that shit's built in.
I'm not complaining.
Hmm?
I'm not complaining.
Not complaining. Nope. Me either. I can use my left shoulder consistently after personally having mine drop out of socket 7 times when I was in my 20s. So, yeah, I'm not complaining either. Now I can bench without it being like a bag of boulders. Making that sound. So what advice would you give someone who is coming from your position or is wanting to get back into fitness, get back into fitness correctly? What advice would you give to a guy in that position?
Anyone can do it. It's not rocket science.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people like you who can help you. You're not alone. And many people are afraid of taking the first step, and many people are afraid of asking for help. But you shouldn't be. And every marathon starts with one step. You're not going to run a marathon without taking that first step. And And life's a marathon. Life is not
Yes.
a sprint. So if you want to put in the work and you have goals, and just go for it. I mean, obviously you got to be realistic. It's those 30-day app transformation things, they don't work. It's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, I don't know, shit. This is this is stupid. It's not how it's gonna work. It'll take longer than 30 days, and you got to be realistic about it. But unless you take that first step, you're not going to succeed. And every step counts, as I said before. So everybody who says, "Oh, I can't do it," I encourage you to at least try it, because I'm also the kind of guy, I want to look myself in the mirror and say, "Yeah, I tried. I gave it my best." If I look myself in the mirror in the evening when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm like, I could have done better. That's not a good feeling for me.
Hmm.
And so I always want to say, yeah, I tried, and not everything's gonna work out. That's life. But you got to take those steps, and you will soon see the differences, and how much it really boosts your confidence when you start lifting heavier weights, when you gain some extra muscles, when you feel healthier, when you're without pain. It's it's a game changer.
Dude, awesome. And guys, if you want to take those first steps, link to a call right below. Only if you really want to start, only if you really want to start in the way that works for you. Just click that, follow through. Fabian, dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is going to help people. You're the best.
Thank you. Well, thank you for all you do for me, and I'm definitely having a fun time, a blast. Uh, Even though I do sometimes curse you. I mean, I'm not gonna
Yes.
lie. Sometimes I'm like, fuck, Trevor, another set of this, but then I do it, and I feel good about myself.
That's my goal, is to be lightly hated by most everybody. That's a
Yeah,
positive hate.
it's a good love-hate relationship
It
there.
is. It is. I like it. And it's fun.
It is, as long as you can bake in a little bit of banter and cursing, which I try to avoid at all costs now in the 32 minutes we've been talking.
Oh man, I should have warned you. Oh no, dude, fuck it. You do what you want. I appreciate that. I think I took your cue on this one because I didn't swear nearly as much as I have on other like calls or interactions. It was the German precision. It took over me.
Do what I can.
All right, dude. Have a good one. Thank you so much.
You got it. Bye.
Peace. Okay, you're not.